Alright, few questions for you guys. In the car, shouldn't be in the car.
Bring your hands on your back for me. Bring your hands on your back. Bring your hands on your back.
Secretary to the unit, this is Marvin Garden, status check.
Today, we've got a wild ride for you. We're the audio recordings from an actual police interaction that occurred on October 6th, 2023. This is not a typical traffic stop. It's a detailed account of growing stress, doubt, and the eventual unearthing of a large quantity of narcotics.
Things, okay?
We'll analyze the audio, paying close attention to the subtle details of the conversation and the unspoken signals that illustrate the developing situation. This narrative highlights the intricate challenges of policing and the critical choices made in moments of urgency. The interaction started when a deputy sheriff pulled over a Toyota sedan for multiple traffic offenses. The reasons for the stop were outlined. The initial conversation, recorded on the officer's body camera and dashboard camera, immediately showcases a clear difference in attitude. The officer, calm and straightforward, lists the violations: exceeding the speed limit, incorrect lane changes, and tailgating.
I have an eye appointment at 2:45. I have to be there.
Okay. Were you in a rush or something?
Yes, I'm in a rush.
Okay. Maybe that's why you're speeding.
The driver, immediately on the defensive, claims he has a time-sensitive appointment. He consistently states his eye appointment at 2:45 p.m., as though this explanation should excuse his traffic violations. This quick defensiveness, combined with the constant reiteration of the appointment time, suggests a potentially more complicated situation. Diving deep into initial contact and escalating tension. The officer's demeanor stays professional, yet his inquiries are direct, designed to uncover discrepancies and highlight the driver's growing nervousness. He asks for the driver's license, registration, and insurance. The driver's replies are hurried, almost panicked, punctuated by repeated mentions of his appointment, trying to justify his behavior. The driver's anxiety is visibly escalating. He's perspiring, and his voice is tense, hinting at a deeper discomfort than simply being pulled over. After checking the driver's details with dispatch, the officer restates the reasons for the stop, stressing the seriousness of the traffic infractions, especially the perilous act of tailgating at 57 miles per hour. The driver objects, claiming he wasn't driving that fast, indicating a refusal to accept accountability. He persists in citing his eye appointment, as if it should excuse his conduct, potentially revealing a habit of downplaying his actions. The officer's focus intensifies. He observes the driver's agitation and asks if he was in a hurry. The driver concedes that he was. This acknowledgement, though seemingly insignificant, is a vital piece of information, confirming a deliberate choice to ignore traffic regulations. This decision, often stemming from underlying issues, heightens the officer's suspicion, leading to further examination. The officer's experience enables them to detect the telltale indicators of a potentially more significant problem: the K9 unit's arrival and alert. At this point, the officer calls in a K9 unit, a strategic decision that significantly advances the investigation.
Sure, appreciate it. Hello. Hi, my name's Deputy Bosler, Felony County Sheriff's Office. Alright, I'm with the K9 unit. Alright, few questions for you guys. In the car, shouldn't be in the car. Nothing illegal. Fine. Where are you going?
The arrival of the K9 officer marks a crucial turning point. Introducing himself as a member of the Sheriff's Office K9 unit, he immediately begins questioning the driver about the presence of firearms, explosives, or drugs in the vehicle. Though the driver denies having any illegal items, the K9 officer then requests that the driver lower his window halfway, a standard procedure that allows the dog to detect scents more effectively while preventing it from jumping inside. To maintain control of the situation, the officer instructs the driver to turn off the vehicle and remain inside.
So, is the vehicle turned off? Can you turn the vehicle off for me? Stay in the car, okay?
The driver's nervousness is evident, with rapid breathing and fidgeting. The officer notes that he is sweating bullets, a clear sign of heightened anxiety. Reiterating the reason for the stop, following too closely at 57 miles per hour, the officer seeks an explanation. However, the driver merely insists on his eye appointment, failing to adequately address the situation at hand. The K-9 officer then conducts a methodical search, guiding the dog around the vehicle while carefully observing its reactions. When the dog alerts, signaling the presence of narcotics, it becomes a decisive moment in the investigation. The officer informs the driver of the K-9's alert, presenting concrete evidence of potential criminal activity. To ensure transparency, he also reassures the driver that the entire encounter is being recorded on video. The search and discovery. Just as the driver begins to feel relieved, believing he might be released, the situation quickly shifts. The officer instructs him to step out of the vehicle, making it clear that the investigation is far from over. Confused, the driver questions the order, to which the officer firmly responds that he never indicated the driver was free to leave, emphasizing the ongoing nature of the inquiry. As the driver exits the vehicle, the officer intensifies his questioning, probing into any history of drug use or involvement.
And we're in the vehicle. Okay. You use drugs or does he use drugs? No one uses drugs? No drug history at all?
History, yes.
History, yeah? Okay.
Anything illegal on
I got
you?
a knife in my pocket.
Okay, don't
Put
grab
that in the car.
Nope, don't grab it.
Is that's your...
The driver hesitates before admitting to a past that may be relevant to the current situation. The officer then asks if he has any illegal items on him. The driver discloses that he has a knife in his pocket, a concealed weapon that could pose a threat. To maintain control, the officer directs him to stand in front of the patrol car. As the driver moves, he discards a lit cigarette on the ground. The officer immediately reprimands him, warning that littering is an arrestable offense, highlighting his disregard for the law. The driver's actions hint at growing desperation, possibly an attempt to divert attention from the unfolding investigation. Turning back to the K-9 alert, the officer informs the driver that, due to the dog's detection of narcotics, a search of the vehicle will be conducted. To ensure safety and prevent interference, both the driver and passenger are placed in handcuffs during the search. A thorough examination of the vehicle uncovers a substantial quantity of narcotics hidden in the center console, confirming the dog's alert. Among the substances, the officer identifies what appears to be fentanyl, a highly dangerous controlled drug.
Got all this out of the center console hidden under here. I don't know what this is. Kind of looks like a carfentanil. Yeah. I think he's got something. Okay.
The driver and passenger are questioned further, but both deny having any additional illegal items. However, a small amount of methamphetamine is later discovered in the passenger's bag, further substantiating the presence of controlled substances in the vehicle. Legal implications and aftermath. The discovery of narcotics initiates a series of legal procedures, setting the criminal justice system into motion. The officer reads the driver his Miranda rights, ensuring he understands his right to remain silent and his right to an attorney. The driver acknowledges his rights, recognizing the seriousness of the situation. The officer reiterates that he is detained and not free to leave, emphasizing the gravity of the charges. He also explains the legal principle of vehicle responsibility, holding the driver accountable for the narcotics found inside. Observing that both the driver and passenger were moving around excessively when they were initially stopped, the officer suspects potential attempts to conceal evidence. He questions them about any suspicious activity, seeking additional leads. The driver, however, offers a vague response, claiming he was too focused on driving to notice anything.
Fingerprints gonna be on any of those bags?
No.
Your DNA?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna let her go down for all of it?
You got my
It's not
DNA
yours?
on it?
It's not yours?
No.
Okay. None of that's yours?
No.
Okay.
Turning his attention to the passenger, the officer asks if any of the bags in the car belong to her. She denies ownership, maintaining her innocence.
He's saying it's not his, so that means you're going to be charged with it all.
It's not mine.
You're driving the vehicle, you're
It's
responsible
not
for it.
mine.
Well, if you saw someone hiding it or something when you're getting stopped, then you need to tell me. Because he's saying it's not his, so that means it's yours. 'Cause
It's
you're
not
driving.
mine.
I'm telling you, though.
It's not my shit.
By the law, you're driving, so if he doesn't admit to it, it's yours.
No.
The officer makes it clear that since neither of them is claiming ownership, both will face charges, reinforcing the legal consequences of their denials. He further explains that, under the law, the driver is held accountable for all contents within the vehicle. Despite repeated questioning, the driver continues to protest his innocence, refusing to accept responsibility. The officer reiterates that unless he can provide evidence to prove otherwise, he will be charged. He then asks if the driver saw the passenger place the drugs in the car, but the driver sticks to his previous claim that he was too preoccupied with driving to notice. The officer informs the driver that he will be arrested and challenges him to present any proof that the drugs do not belong to him. He also clarifies that criminal records cannot be checked until an individual is officially placed under arrest. Given the presence of methamphetamine in the passenger's bag and the significant quantity of fentanyl in the center console, the officer states that the driver will be charged for all narcotics found in the vehicle. The driver continues to deny any involvement, but the officer reinforces the legal principle that, as the driver, he is ultimately responsible. To ensure proper documentation, the officer asks if the back camera is recording. He acknowledges the complexity of the investigation, noting that all the evidence cannot be processed at the scene. He also mentions that the driver will face a high bond, and that all seized substances will undergo testing. This incident underscores the legal principle that a driver is held responsible for everything in their vehicle, unless they can provide concrete evidence proving otherwise, highlighting the importance of understanding and complying with the law. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you think the driver should be fully held accountable, or could there be more to the story? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share.